Iga Swiatek is performing press-ups using small parallel bars, commonly known as parallettes. These simple yet effective pieces of training equipment offer numerous benefits for athletes like her, especially in the physically demanding sport of tennis. The parallettes elevate her hands off the ground, which is a key feature that enhances her workout. One of the primary benefits for a tennis player is the increased range of motion the parallettes provide. This allows for a deeper push-up, which intensely engages the pectoral muscles, shoulders, and triceps, building greater upper body strength and muscle endurance that is vital for powerful strokes and serving. Furthermore, using parallettes helps develop exceptional core stability and control, as the body must work harder to maintain balance on the elevated, stable surface. A strong, stable core is fundamental in tennis for efficiently transferring energy from the lower body to the upper body during rotational movements, which directly translates to more powerful and consistent ground strokes with heavy topspin. Crucially, the parallettes allow the wrists to remain in a neutral, comfortable position, reducing the strain and potential for injury that often comes with placing hands flat on the floor for repetitive exercises. For a professional athlete, safeguarding joints and preventing injury is paramount to maintaining a high level of performance and ensuring longevity in their career. The added stability and grip control provided by grasping the bars help her focus on muscle engagement and form, rather than wrist discomfort, leading to a more effective and safe training session. This holistic, functional strength training with versatile equipment like parallettes prepares her entire kinetic chain, from ankles to shoulders, for the explosive, rapid directional changes and high-impact demands of elite tennis. Iga Swiatek is performing a demanding single-leg glute bridge variation that clearly reflects how precisely her physical training is designed for elite tennis. Her upper back is supported on a raised bench, one foot is firmly planted on the platform, and the other leg is lifted, forcing her body to rely on one side only. A thick resistance band is anchored around her hips, pulling downward and adding constant tension throughout the movement. This setup turns a simple bridge into a highly advanced strength and control exercise. The main target is the glutes and hamstrings, the muscles responsible for driving explosive force from the ground. Every time she pushes her hips upward against the band, those muscles must overcome resistance while keeping her pelvis level. This is exactly the kind of strength needed for powerful first steps, heavy topspin forehands, and explosive serves. Because only one leg is working, the exercise mimics the realities of tennis movement, where players rarely load both legs evenly. The position also places a huge demand on the core. To stop the hips from dropping or rotating, the deep abdominal muscles and obliques must stay fully engaged. This type of anti-rotation strength is critical for stroke stability, allowing Iga to transfer force cleanly from her legs through her torso and into the racket without energy leaks. The resistance band constantly tries to pull her out of alignment, which forces small stabilizing muscles around the hips to fire continuously. Equally important is injury prevention. Single-leg loading exposes and corrects strength imbalances between sides, protecting the knees, hips, and lower back during long matches and intense sliding on court. The controlled tempo and sustained tension also build muscular endurance, helping her maintain explosive movement deep into matches. Iga is doing this sequence of exercises to build a complete connection between strength, balance, coordination, and reactivity in conditions that closely resemble the physical and neurological demands of tennis. Every movement in this workout challenges her body to stabilize, react, and produce force while maintaining technical control, which is exactly what is required during high-intensity rallies and long matches. The wall contact while jumping helps her organize posture and body alignment, while the legs generate explosive power. The wall is not used for support, but acts as a spatial reference, forcing her core, hips, and ankles to work together efficiently. This improves landing mechanics, reduces unnecessary upper body movement, and enhances elastic strength in the lower limbs, which is critical for repeated jumping, sprinting, and stopping on court. Using a slanted platform with one leg increases stress on the ankle, calf, and Achilles tendon in a controlled way. Tennis players constantly push off from uneven and compromised positions, and this type of loading strengthens the tissues that absorb and release force during aggressive movement. It also improves confidence and stability when changing direction at speed. Jumping laterally over a mini hurdle trains quick side-to-side reactions, which are essential for baseline coverage and recovery steps. The focus is not height, but speed of ground contact, teaching the nervous system to respond instantly and efficiently, just like during defensive slides or explosive first steps. The final exercise, where one leg remains on a box while the other shuffles and the ball is passed between hands, integrates physical and cognitive demands. It forces hip stability while the upper body performs a coordination task, replicating match situations where the legs must stabilize the body while the hands execute precise shots. Overall, this workout develops resilience, efficiency, and control, allowing Iga to move explosively while staying balanced and injury-resistant at the highest level of tennis. She uses these squat variations to build a lower body engine that directly supports the physical realities of elite tennis. The heel-elevated squat allows her to train deep, athletic positions that closely resemble the stance she repeatedly enters during rallies, especially when absorbing pace, defending wide balls, or loading to accelerate into a shot. Elevating the heels increases ankle mobility and keeps her torso more upright, shifting emphasis toward the quadriceps while reducing unnecessary strain on the lower back. This mirrors the constant semi-squat posture tennis demands and reinforces her ability to stay low without losing balance or posture. Adding the padded barbell introduces external load while preserving spinal alignment and comfort, allowing her to focus on precision, control, and consistency rather than maximal strength. The slow, controlled nature of the movement builds eccentric strength, which is essential for deceleration, sudden stops, and repeated changes of direction. This capacity to absorb force safely is a major factor in injury prevention and match durability, especially during long, physically intense contests. When resistance bands are added to the squat, the exercise becomes even more tennis-specific. The bands create variable resistance that increases as she stands up, forcing continuous acceleration through the entire movement. This trains her legs to apply force smoothly and powerfully, just as they must when pushing out of corners, exploding into serves, or recovering rapidly after a shot. The crossed band setup introduces subtle lateral and rotational forces, demanding constant engagement from the core and hips to maintain alignment. This improves coordination, symmetry, and the efficient transfer of force from the ground through the body into the racket. She incorporates vertical jumps into her training because they directly develop the explosive qualities that define elite tennis movement. Every powerful serve, aggressive forehand, and rapid change of direction starts with force being driven vertically through the ground. Vertical jumps train her legs to produce that force quickly and efficiently, improving her ability to explode into shots and recover immediately after. These jumps heavily target the glutes, quadriceps, calves, and core, all of which are essential for stability and power transfer. By jumping straight up, Iga reinforces optimal alignment through the ankles, knees, and hips, teaching her body to absorb and reapply force safely. This is crucial in tennis, where players constantly load and unload their legs during split steps, serves, and defensive recoveries. Vertical jumps also sharpen her neuromuscular coordination. The brain learns to fire muscles in the correct sequence at high speed, which translates to faster reactions and more efficient movement on court. This improves her split-step timing, allowing her to read the ball earlier and move decisively in any direction. Another key reason is injury prevention. Repeated vertical jumping strengthens the tendons and connective tissues around the knees and ankles, making them more resilient to the high-impact demands of long matches. It conditions her body to handle repeated landings without losing stability or control.